This video is a question about a word problem. And so when I'm asked a word problem, the very first thing I try to do is draw a picture so that I can kind of see what's going on. So this question says, a ladder makes a 43-degree angle with the ground. If it needs to reach 12 feet high, how long must the ladder be? All right, so I know that I'm going to have a building over here, and I know that I'm going to have the ground, and I know that I'm going to have a ladder that stretches from the building to the ground, because that's kind of how a ladder works. All right, now in the problem, they tell me that the ladder is going to make a 43-degree angle with the ground. So this angle right here needs to be 43 degrees. And then they say that the ladder needs to reach 12 feet high. So this height, the height that the ladder needs to reach on the wall, is 12. And the question asks, how long must the ladder be? So we need to know how tall the ladder needs to be in order to reach 12 feet up when it makes a 43-degree angle. So what we're trying to figure out is x. How big is the ladder? Okay, so if I'm looking at this problem, I see a right angle right here, which means this is a right triangle. Now, if it's hard for you to see in the context of the picture when you've got a building and a ground and a ladder, you could just redraw this as just a right triangle. Here's your right angle. This side is 12. This angle is 43 degrees. And this is what you're solving for, x. Once you've done that, you're pretty much ready to start labeling your triangle. So this side is h, the hypotenuse. This side is O, opposite from the angle I was given, and this side would be A, adjacent. All right, so in this problem, it looks like I have O, and I'm trying to find H. So what trig ratio uses O and H? Well, that's sine. So I'm going to say the sine of my angle, which is 43 degrees, is equal to O, which is 12, over h, which is x, what I'm solving for. And so I talked about a couple different ways to solve these where the x is in the denominator. I like the switch method the best, where you just switch the sine of 43 and x. They just switch spots. So the x comes up here, and the sine of 43 goes to the bottom. All right, so now I just need to type this into my calculator. So 12 divided by the sine of 43, close parentheses, and I get that x is equal to 17.6. All right, so that means that this ladder would need to be 17.6 feet in order to reach 12 feet up the wall if I'd had to make a 43-degree angle. And because the ladder is the hypotenuse of this triangle, it does make sense that this number is bigger than this 12. So I'm going to circle that and say that is my final answer.